TikTok has rather quickly grown into a platform for individuals to express and make money on videos, affecting the trends and the culture in the world. Content creators must know TikTok's terms of service, especially where copyright, monetization share, and user rights are concerned. The TOS of TikTok directly impacts copyright and intellectual revenue generation, posing fundamental questions of user autonomy and the right to content in the creation of digital cultures and futures for content producers. Copyright ownership and licensing terms. User content ownership. Under TikTok's Terms of Service section, the user owns the copyright to their content, and as such, the creators still own the material they create. However, by creating content and uploading it to TikTok, the user provides TikTok with open-ended permission to use, reproduce, and modify the content. Such an ownership structure gives creators some rights, while the license terms deny them substantial ways of managing content utilization outside the app. Licensing agreement. TikTok's TOS allows the platform to have full control of the user's content for irrevocable, perpetual, and royalty-free usage. This means that TikTok has permission to use, distribute, and modify content without compensating the content creators, and there is no specified time frame on the matter. This erases user influence since content can be exploited for advertisement and promotions by TikTok without further consent. Terms such as these put the creators at a disadvantage when providing their work to the platform because they concede explicit control over some of their content and, as a result, have only limited recourse against third parties who misuse or infringe upon it. Implications for creators. These licensing terms limit creators to generate revenue only within the TikTok domain, since the usage rights belong to TikTok for the content shared. Thus, creators can have problems with exclusive monetization agreements on other platforms, and TikTok can reuse this content endlessly. This means that creators are unable to regulate how, when, or to what extent content is shared or altered, which in turn greatly influences their freedom and possible revenue sources. Monetization policies and their implications for creators. There are several ways that TikTok provides for eligible content creators to earn income. These include the TikTok Creator Fund live gifting and revenue share from ads. Requirements for eligibility are different. For example, for the Creator Fund, one must be at least 18 years old, have at least 10,000 subscribers, and meet the view counts for their videos of 50-50. These criteria benefit high-traffic creators by creating a clear hierarchy through which high-traffic accounts are preferred in the distribution of TikTok's earning potential over smaller accounts. Revenue sharing terms. TikTok's terms of service cover revenue sharing agreements. However, creators have limited say concerning how precisely the monetization is executed, including the rates of payments and who is qualified to earn them. Since TikTok retains the authority over the terms, they can always change monetization possibilities or decrease payouts for creators, making their income unpredictable. Such a dynamic works in TikTok's favor because it has the power to set revenue-sharing rules and the creators are incapable of changing the rules. The policies of monetization on TikTok are generally inclined toward the more popular content creators with significant followership qualifications for better and higher earning streams. This creates a problem for smaller creators who are not able to garner the minimum number of followers or views, hence constraining their source of income and thus restricting their growth. Such a difference hampers productivity and revenue generation with smaller growing accounts, and this negates user control and ownership of their content's financial value. Therefore, newer creators might not achieve growth and profitability. They need to have a strong presence on this platform, thus affecting their business opportunities. Privacy, ownership, and platform accountability. Privacy implications. From the terms of service, TikTok has broad permissions for data use, starting from content, browsing history, and device information. This data collection may be invasive when used by TikTok since it enables a targeted sale of advertisement spaces and product recommendations. Some of such policies have raised questions about user privacy and data security, especially concerning potential misuse of data. User autonomy and control. Restrictions on the control of user autonomy are evident from TikTok's terms of service in relation to content sharing and reuse. That is because even if users own their content, TikTok has the permissive license rights to disseminate or alter their content as it pleases. This restriction minimizes the ability of creators to exert control over how and where their content is monetized, besides removing the creator's autonomy to independently govern their content. Platform accountability. TikTok has a massive influence in establishing user rights, but its pursuit leans toward benefiting the firm at the expense of the creator's rights. Having too much control over data, content, and monetization at the same time prevents both accountability and transparency. This approach leads to wider issues surrounding how these platforms balance the organization's profit with the reasonable treatment of the creators, and remains a continual issue on platform responsibility and user protections. Broader implications. Most notably, licensing granted to TikTok users is far more limiting in comparison to those extending to, for instance, Instagram or YouTube users, which grants TikTok major control over users' content. This policy reduces the level of user control, thereby decreasing opportunities for creators to move their content to other platforms and decreasing the external effectiveness of posted content for the platform. Thus, some critical questions are raised about the platform's accountability for fair user rights and proper disclosure. Should TikTok build better and more comprehensible terms that protect independent creators, or will the platform remain focused on controlling the content?